Hello and welcome to another episode of Tom Sox Conversations. I'm Taylor Goldenwise, and joining me today is the University of Richmond's Daniel Brumbaugh. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really well, actually. Thanks for asking.
Great. Okay, so 2016 season. What was like the best thing that came out of that season for you?
Man, the best thing, honestly, for me, I would probably have to say it's not even baseball related. Um, that season, I had the opportunity to work with Chris Crater at ACAC, and I think at the
Yeah.
time he was the VP of Finance there. Um, and I would say that laid the groundwork to help me get to where I am today. That was actually one of the first times that I experienced anything related to business.
Yeah.
Um, and so that whole summer, it was just nice to be able to see how they ran a business and how they planned to make a business grow. And I was actually able to take my experiences from there into the next year at my interview with where my current employer is now.
Yeah.
So I would say that definitely set me up probably the best for the future. Um,
Okay, yeah.
so I'd definitely say or the internship.
That's awesome. So how was it like balancing your internship and baseball?
Yeah, so it wasn't as tough as I thought it would be because at least for me, Chris was just so understanding. He knew that I was here to play baseball and get better that summer,
Right.
but he also knew that I wanted an academic focus to try and get what I just said, is just get some idea of how a business works and operates. And so I think I showed up at the office around like 8:30 or 9, and then he let me go by 1 o'clock, and I was at the field by 3:30 or 4, getting ready for the game to play, whatever it was, or get to the bus. And he really didn't care. He was super flexible, and so um, although it was a little difficult to do both, but at the same time, it was nice to have somebody that was understanding of your time commitments.
Right. So would you say that really helped you prepare? So for your 2017 season with Tom Sox, you kind of just played on the weekends. So what was that like? Kind of being not like half a part of the team, but balancing, making sure that your focus was more on, your future.
Yeah, no, exactly. So the 2017 season, that was a little weird because with my current employer, that internship was Monday through Friday, and they didn't necessarily care that I was having a summer baseball season.
Right.
So it was nice to talk with Jeff. Jeff was really understanding as well, and same with the head coach that season. He just kind of let me come in and play whenever I could. Um, but no, it was super nice to have Jeff kind of work that out with me to where I would show up on the weekends.
Right.
And I think I'm trying to remember how many games I actually played that season. I would probably guess maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But I definitely still have a claim to fame as I'm taking credit for that championship. For 4 or 5 games. But it really wasn't that difficult at all. And it's similar just because of the understanding of Jeff, the understanding of the head coach kind of let me come in and do and get my work in wherever I could.
Right. That's awesome. Did you have a lot of friends like from the University of Richmond that played on Tom Sox with you?
I did. So 2016, my roommate for 3 years in college was with me in Charlottesville. So that was really cool. And then I think the 2017 season, Matt Olson was there.
Yeah.
And I know there was one other person there, but I can't remember. But it was super nice to just go there with the teammates from your own college. Kind of almost like an icebreaker, meeting everybody new, because you know how summer ball works. You get people from all over the country, and they all are there trying to figure out like, hey, who am I? I'm going to make friends, whatever. And so it was nice to have that icebreaker there. And then also just I remember at least for 2016 and 2017, the teams were just so inclusive, and it was like you go in with nerves, like, what are these guys going to be like? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be one of those difficult teams to get along with? But I think after day one, both 2016 and 2017, the guys were just unbelievable. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. So what skills like did you work on with Tom Sox that you brought back to, Richmond with you?
Yeah. So let's see, my 2016 season, that was so after my sophomore year, rising junior year, and I know my head coach really wanted me to work more on pitching that year because I came to Richmond as a two-way
Yeah.
player, as a second baseman and a pitcher. And
Right.
my freshman year and sophomore year, I didn't really pitch as much as I probably could have. And so that year was kind of used as me to try and get my arm in shape and try and get used to being a two-way player, like someone that could actually play second base every day and also come on the mound and pitch when needed. So
Right.
I remember that 2016 season, the coaches being really okay with putting me in some situations where I can get used to playing every day, but at the same time making sure I keep my arm in shape, keeping it rested, and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is a question I've been asking everyone. What have you been doing during quarantine?
Oh my goodness. So you're looking at it. I spent a lot of time in this apartment that I have. My girlfriend will come over every weekend. We'll go down.
Yeah.
I live like right downtown in Richmond. And
Okay, cool.
The river is literally like, I'd say 500 yards away. And so her and I will just get outside. We'll put our masks on. We'll go outside. We'll walk outside, take a stroll by the river. So bring her dog over. So it's really been just a lot of figuring out how to, keep yourself entertained, I guess. A lot of
Right. Did you watch Tiger King?
I'm not gonna lie. I watched like the first 2 episodes and I just couldn't take it anymore. One of the more interesting shows for sure. But
That's too funny.
yeah.
So how has like being, in this like new quarantine type work environment been for like starting out in your new job?
Yeah, so it hasn't been too bad actually. So I work for Deloitte, which is a public accounting firm, and they are actually very good with the remote working environment. In fact, like
Yeah.
we have typical, I think like once a month, at least my team, we would try to implement a work from home Friday or something like that, to where people
Right.
can go home and they can kind of roll out of bed, which I guess I've been doing for the past 5 months now. But roll out of bed, cook breakfast, eat while you work.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been too difficult. It has been weird though because I do miss the office.
Right.
It's a little bit different from being able to just walk over to your colleagues and ask them a question or say, hey, you want to go grab lunch or something. It's been a lot of these Zoom calls. I've seen a lot of people's faces in
Right.
these little rectangles, and you'd have little minor delays and stuff like that, and talking over people. So that part's been difficult, but for the most part, I don't think it's been too bad.
That's good. That's really good to hear. Have you like kept involved with baseball at all since you started working?
So I have joined a softball league, and I would say that I was horrible first season because the ball is so slow, and it's so hard to make yourself wait after being trained for so long to hit, upper 80s to low 90 fastball, and then so you see this ball coming in at probably 20 miles an hour and just having to wait back. But yeah, I've joined softball. I've gone and watched some of my underclassmen friends play at University of Richmond because I stayed in Richmond, so I'm able to hang out with them still and go watch a couple of their games. But other than that, that's about all the baseball activity that I've been able to do.
Yeah. Well, everything's like not even opened and everything's crazy. So yeah, but
definitely a lot of reruns though. I've watched the ESPN. They luckily show. So I'm from Texas originally, so they've shown when Texas was good and they made it to the World Series. So I've been kind of reliving the glory days with those. So I guess you can count that in the baseball related activity.
Right. That is so fun. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to Tom Sox Nation?
Yeah, I mean, I would just want them to know how appreciative I am of everything that they did for me for the year and a half that I was there. I know I had amazing host parents. I know Jeff and Padawan, they run a top-notch organization. And so, I would just say thank you. And I just want them to know how appreciative I am of, the time that I was there and everything that they did for me.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you for having me.